Hey guys, welcome back. Here's Magdalena for you with a long hair men's haircut tutorial. Let's imagine this person came in and wanted to keep their hair long, but they haven't cut it in about a year. So they just want to clean it up and bring it up to their shoulders. There. So the way you gauge long hair, it's either longer than the shoulders, to the neck, to the chin. So kind of give them references on body parts. What you should do first is examine the hair. Let's assume this person doesn't wear it to one side or the other. So we're gonna start cutting it in the middle. And do the usual halo parting. Start the parting at the eyebrow. So get rid of that top hair first, just so it's easier for you to see. Now we're left with the outline, the perimeter. If the front is short and the back is long, say this to the client. The front is cut too short, so let's bring up the back to match the front. For example, this front is much shorter than the back, so it's giving it the mullety effect. So my recommendation would be to bring the back up to this length so the haircut makes sense. So before I ask the client, what do you want? What do you think, which length? And when they just told me they just want to clean it up, my recommendation would be, this looks much shorter. This is really long and stringy. Let's bring this up so then the back looks fuller and it just makes more sense. Okay, so now I've identified the issue is with this hair, and I recommended what I think we should do. This is the longest I think they should keep it, is that length, judging by that short piece in the front. So now they said, all right, they want it to keep it as long as possible. Okay, so I'm just gonna judge the haircut by this length. So I grab that short piece, bring it to the back. There it is. No elevation, meaning not like this, not like that. Just straight down, looking at that short piece. I'm cutting a straight line. And I'm also gonna trim that short piece as well because it's a little bit stringy. So now I'm just cutting that line. And before that, confirm with the client and say, you know, I'm gonna be cutting off like 3 inches off. Is that okay? But it's gonna make the haircut healthier. So just confirm and listen and then do it. The straight line here. Okay, looks good. Now I'm moving to the side, straight down, square line always, adding the front. Slightly over direct the front to the back to compensate for the ear. So there it is, it's looking straight. This is a danger zone for long hair, for women and men. Most of the time, hairdressers cut this area too short. So rule of thumb, don't even cut it most of the time. Just leave that part out. But as you can see, I'm trimming it slightly. Okay, so now we have a straight. We're starting the first layer, 1 inch section in the back, straight out, using the bottom as your guide. Once you see it, that can drop down a little bit. But make sure you're going, all the hair is going straight out of the head. Not like this, not like that, like this. And then you're cutting. Now take the next section, very clean, half of the previous section, straight out, seeing your guide, and cutting. Now next section, half the previous section, slightly over directed to the back. You're seeing your guide over there. Don't cut the perimeter. That's really important. Don't be scissor happy and just grab a section and start cutting. So as you can see, I'm cutting everything bluntly. This is the wet, damp cut. We're gonna do all the texturizing when it's dry. Don't point cutting. At the ear, you wanna take a section. You're going to be over directing slightly to the back to compensate for the ear. So you're trying to leave that area a little bit heavier. So I'm going this way and then taking that. And then also at the end, you could alter it if it needs to be thinner. Some people have a lot of hair, so then you wouldn't have to leave it too heavy. All right, so now I did that. Don't go too crazy with working too much with the perimeter or trying to fix stuff. First cut the top, then dry it, then do the final touches on the first haircut. The wet cut shouldn't take you more than 4 minutes. Continuing to the other side, straight out, cutting. The section I just cut, half a previous section. As you can see, my sections are really clean. The lines are really clean. Always keep your canvas in order so you don't have to go over it again and fix things. Do it once and do it right. Now as you can see, I'm at the ear, I'm over directing to the back and just cutting a little bit. Now take the top down, comb it. If the hair is clean, and you don't have to really wash it, but I recommend washing it. So you're combing it down, part it in the middle, and the part in the back, you wanna comb back where the head rounds. So on top of the head. That's how you know where to comb it back. Okay, so now I'm just gonna start the layers again at the back. 1 inch section, straight out. Using the underneath as the guide and cutting it. Now, next section, cutting it. Pie sections. To go straight out, always as the hair grows out, you have your longer piece and cut that. Always check yourself, see if you are holding the hair straight out with a straight line. Your sections are clean. Your cutting line is clean. Don't be lazy. Now we're going to the top. So I'm done with cutting the layers. Now I'm going to pick up the hair on the top of the head, straight up, like we do with shorter hair. And basically, those sides are your guide, the short ones. So now you're going straight across. So these are your sections, 1, 2, 3, 4. The very front, you can over direct slightly to the back. So there's my short one. Going straight across with a straight line. Be careful with the front because that is the part where people have recessions. They don't have hair over there. So just try to cut a little bit just on the ends. And then later on, after you dry it, you can alter it. So now I'm ready to dry the haircut. So if a client has very thick hair, I don't recommend using a lot of salt spray. Just put maybe like this. When drying men's hair, very important, do not use a brush. Just grab your hand, shake it out, try to dry the root first, and the rest will dry faster. So no brushes, just your hands. If the hair is curly or wavy, don't try to straighten it. Dry it how it will be naturally. After you dry the whole haircut, now you want to connect the layers to the perimeter. After you do the layers, the bottom section becomes a little bit shelfy. So you go at this angle and you will see those pieces don't connect with those. So that's the little area that you're going to point cut. And basically you're going to point cut the whole haircut at this stage. Take that and point cut it. And most importantly, do not start point cutting the perimeter, because then you're going to cut the length and the proportions of the haircut will change. Now it's time to point cut the whole haircut. So you're taking, again, the same sections. Take the hair straight out. Now I'm putting a few negative spaces in there, so it has more movement and it's not as heavy. Now I'm taking a new section, combing it straight out, point cutting the whole section from bottom to top. Now I'm taking that section, combing it away, so I'm not picking it up twice and texturizing it, because that way you're just gonna cut the hair shorter and mess up the haircut shape. Now, what you want to do is comb the hair down in the front and see how everything's adding up. As you can see, the front is too long. So just take it, and when the front is too long on a man, it makes it look too feminine. So you're taking that little corner in the front and just trimming it slightly. At this point, I will just look at the haircut and see if I feel a section is too heavy. I'm gonna pick it up and check the layers. This little piece I might have missed, I'm going over it. Also, if you think something's too heavy anywhere, just pick it up straight up and check. If there's some pieces that are longer, clean them up. But also don't go too crazy with texturizing, because this hair is washed. It's always going to be more poofy, so be confident in your work. If you feel like there's a lot of hair in there and there's a lot of thickness, then grab your thinning scissors and visually take out bulk. Now I'm going to take this one piece, thin that out, feel it. Also do it systematically. If I take this piece, then I'm gonna take this piece, then I'm gonna take this piece. I'm not going randomly into the haircut. There's some kind of a system still. With that, I'm taking that, feeling it. If the bottom's too heavy, take pieces. Usually after I use the thinning scissors, I'll go over it with point cutting with regular scissors, just so it's not frizzy. Practice doing the manual steps kind of fast, so you have more time for the texturizing. Now you're checking the outline. You did all your layers, you did all the thinning out. So now you're checking the whole outline if it's straight. If it's not, touch it up with point cutting. Now put their head down and you're gonna see the outline has changed. There's little frizzy pieces on the bottom. Clean those all up. Put their head back, up, like this. And now you're checking the outline again and cleaning it up. The last step you can add for this kind of haircut, a little bit of water to calm the frizz from blow drying it, and just some salt spray and scrunch it. That's it for today. Thank you guys for watching.